Hello, educators. Welcome to Strategy Sunday. I am Carla Boswell-Lewis, Director of Strategic Educational Consultancy Services. I am a passionate, dedicated, and selfless educator on a mission to empower you, educators. This week is the last week of the three-part series on influencing students positively as a means of aligning them for success. If this is your first time watching or if you have not yet watched those videos, I invite you to do so. Influence is very critical in the education system. Educators, teachers plant seeds of knowledge that grow forever, and you must plant your seed with distinction. This week, I will share with you two final tips on having positive influence over your students. And these are taken from the hidden curriculum, which we all know about. The hidden curriculum is also known as the covert curriculum. This is all the learning that students receive from the mere organization of schools, the aesthetics, how the classroom is set up, how the walls are painted, the colors of the walls, yes, as well as behaviors and attitudes of administrators and teachers. And so, as a role model, your students learn best from teachers whom they like. They also follow them and copy them. And of course, after parents, teachers are the next in line for teaching students. And so, students are drawn to you, educators, for different reasons. It could be the way how you dress. It could be the way how you speak to them. It could be your physical appearance. It could be your relatedness. Whatever it is, you are a role model and they are looking at you for guidance. And so you must never ever let that ball drop. It must always be up and running. So, as a role model, we have to forget the adage that says, you do what I say, not what I do. That is very hypocritical. As teachers, we must walk the walk and talk the talk at all times. So you must set high standards for your students and you must pull them up to that level. Allow them to grow and to develop and get to the standard that you have set in the classroom. How can you do this? If you expect your students to be on time, educators, it is natural that you will be on time for class. If you expect them to complete their assignments, you must collect the assignments on time. Even if a student is going to come and say, teacher, I have not yet completed, you must ensure that the warning is given and that those that are ready are collected because they are marking you at your words. Also, if you expect the students to be organized, to be prepared for class, as educator, when you come to class, you must be organized. Students must see where you are taking them. You must be prepared. So if it is that you say to the students, today you will get a quiz, even if you went to class and you are unprepared, you must, in that moment, just guess what? Stay calm and pretend as if it was in the lesson plan. You cannot allow them to see that you are not prepared because you are training them and they are watching you because you are their role model. If you expect the students to speak well, educators, you must speak well. Of course, there will be times when you may let your hair down and you may relate to them in their context. Fine, but you must also ensure that they know that teacher speaks well, and so I must also carry out that role. Educators, students are drawn to you because of the way how you present yourself. You must dress well. If it is that you're going to have positive influence over your students, from head to toe, you must be well dressed. You must present that level of preparedness and carry it out so that your students know that, hey, teacher is always neat and ready for class. It is not the setting in which you're going to be overly sexy or overly, not appropriately dressed. You are going to be well dressed professionally and have your students come up to that standard. Educators, you must be solution oriented. Your students in the classroom must know that if I have a problem at school, I can go to teacher, I can relate to my teacher, and I can guarantee that my teacher will be giving me the solution. You do not want to be the teacher who bickers a lot about what is happening in your school or what you're frustrated about. You should be the teacher that gives solution and teach the students how to become solution oriented. And that is very critical as you become that reflective practitioner and as you exert your level of influence over your students, being positive role models. The second tip that I would like to share with you as you go out this week in helping you to carry over that level of influence, positive influence on your students, you must be cognizant. Cognizant means that you are aware and you know exactly what is happening around you. How can you be cognizant? Set the correct tone at all times. Let your students know exactly who you are. The calm, cool, collective teacher who is a no nonsense individual, who is solution oriented, who is always prepared and organized. You are setting that tone in your classroom. Remember, the hidden curriculum is about the hidden values that you are taking across to your students. This is not written in your lesson plan, it is not documented anywhere. It is your behavior and your attitude that will set the tone for your students. You should also show students what you are expecting of them. Demonstrate it to them. As I shared with you earlier and being a role model, what you expect of your students, you yourself must be doing that. They must see that demonstrated across the board, not just when you're in class, but inside and outside of class. They must know that you are the professional that you are. Another key tip in being cognizant, educators, when I was teaching practicum, or back in the days when we were teaching practicum, we were advised sometimes by other colleagues or our peers that, hey, if your assessor is coming, make sure you have gifts and you have different things to give to the student, pencils and so on, and reward them so that they can keep quiet. This is not quite true. Do not threaten or bribe students to behave well. You must command that level of respect that you don't need to bribe them with anything. They know that when you get to class, you're about teaching, you're about imparting knowledge, you're about aligning them for success. And hence, if you're doing that, there's no need for you to bribe them. There's no need for you to threaten them. All you need to do is to be prepared, exert classroom management, exert that level of influence over your students that when they see you step inside the classroom, they know it is learning time. You must command their respect too through your actions. It cannot be that you're expecting them to respect you, but you are not respecting them. You must respect your students. You must demonstrate that to them. You must be respectful to your colleagues. The way you operate within the school, it must be clear to the students that teacher is about the business of teaching and learning, and teacher is a positive role model for me. You must also demonstrate to them that you understand their context and navigate them to become better students. So you get inside the classroom and you're motivating your students. You know exactly where they're from. You can relate to them on different levels. You're teaching the content. Use experiential background. What is it that these students experience in their classroom? What is it that they experience in their communities? Use it to teach them. Be relatable to your students. And by doing that, they will understand that teacher is aware of my needs. And so if teacher is aware of my needs, teacher will be able to navigate me. These are your actionable tips for this week. Being a positive role model and being cognizant. If this video was beneficial to you, or if you liked what you heard, go ahead and like the video. If you feel that there is a friend or educator who could use this type of information, go ahead and share the video. And if you want to get more videos with this kind of information, and if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comment section. And I'm very much aware that you may not be the educator who may want to leave a comment, or you may want to share your thoughts. However, you feel free to call me on WhatsApp or direct call as shown on your screen at 1876 333-5510. You can also leave a message on Facebook, Instagram, and I will be readily available to assist you. See you on Thursday for Analysis Thursday. And just to remind you, at the end of each month, we will be doing a live video. And so next week, Sunday, we will be going live at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, I'll facilitate your questions and whatever it is that you may need to have a rapport or a discussion on. Feel free to WhatsApp your questions, Facebook message or Instagram message or call or leave a text, and I will be sure to answer those questions as we navigate this new normal and as Strategic Educational Consultancy Services empower you educators to align your students for success and take charge of that positive influence on your students. Take care and have a lovely week.